Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel and thanks for joining me on yet another video tutorial here on Vatsim 101. And this week we're going to be staying completely on the ground, on terra firma, and that's because I've got this software to show you called Navigraph. Now it's familiar to many of us flight simmers, nothing new, it's been out for a while, but I just thought I'd just make a video tutorial about it. I know there's quite a few out there, but I just want to actually give my take on this really useful software. So first of all, what is it? Well, it's a software that will offer you en route charts, airport charts, so that you can taxi around. That's really, really useful. And navigational databases really increases the realism of this flight sim hobby that we've got. And it's useful because it updates, or Navigraph actually updates their charts every 28 days. So every 28 days you're going to get a new AirRack, which is really, really good. And those AirRacks you can actually put into your aircrafts that you're using, whether it's A320 Airbus, Aerosoft, or Dash 8, or just about anything really that can take the AirRacks, and it will just basically keep everybody, especially if you're doing online flying, it's really good that everyone actually is on the same AirRack and singing off the same song sheet, so to speak. Right, so that's basically what it is. And as for me, I'm not affiliated with Navigraph in any way whatsoever. Not sponsored. This video is not sponsored by them, but I just wanted to make it. It's always something that I felt like doing. And yeah, so here it is. It is paid software, by the way. It's subscription based, and well, yeah, I mean, that's it really. So right now, what you see here is the basic format of the software. Okay, so when you boot it up, this is what you're going to see, more than likely. So let's just go through some of the things here on the top, first of all, as we go through. So just looking at this part here, this is just basically saying it's yourself, that's me, Robbie Martin, settings and sign out and sign in. Quite simple. And this one here is a little button to turn on the darker screen. If the daylight screen is too bright for you, then you can just click that button there. And the next one is a nice little feature because it has a moving map. So if you click on that, and you'll actually see the aircraft. Okay, now my aircraft actually is way over here in London. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that pretty soon. All right, just trying to get back to where I was. Okay, that was San Francisco. Okay, right about here, I believe. Yeah, so that's a nice little feature. And this one here is the map. Okay, so it's got three maps: world map, low en route, and high en route. So world map speaks for itself. There you are. That's the world map. Okay. And the only thing about this, I suppose, a small gripe that I have, is that you can't actually zoom in closer than this. That is it. It's a shame, really, because it'll be nice. It would have been nice to actually zoom in a bit closer. But there it is. There's nothing else you can do about that. And when you actually create your flight plan, you can actually see it overlaid on top of the world map. There's nothing else to click on in the world map. That is it, as you see it there. All right. Okay, moving on to high en route map. Okay, now in this map, you can actually start clicking on things. We won't use the high en route map. We'll go on to the low en route, which is almost the same, just got more details really. Okay, so now, actually, do you know what? Before I start talking about the map, let's go along across here to just to finish off this section here. Pretty simply, you got flights there, all right, and this is where your previous flight plans have been stored. All right, so you can easily go back and retrieve it, or you can delete those if you want by clicking on this section here, this little pencil, and then you can actually just select the box, which selects all of your previous flights, and then you can consign it to the trash bin. All right, and there you can sort it out by date as well, or by name. And here you can actually select new flight plan. All right, so we're going to be talking about that very soon. And moving across, you have favorites, which speaks for itself really. On your selected chart, you just click on the yellow button. We'll look at that soon. And then you can actually select favorites there for quick and easy reference. And here is search. You can search by ICAO code or by the name itself. Okay, and that applies to everything, to waypoints, airports, VORs, just whatever you can search for. All right, so now we have the map, the low en route map. Now, just starting with the Airways, okay? Right, so you got Victor Airways here, and I can't zoom in anymore. That is it, just like the world map. And if you have a look over here, you've got this little pop-up. And basically, it's just giving you more information about the segment of airway that you've selected. So that's Tango Airways 298. And you can see there it runs from the Altam to the Reblu fix. The distance of the sector is 30 nautical miles. You have minimum and maximum altitudes there. Okay, and this one here, fixes, well, it just shows you a bit more information, coordinates and stuff like that we don't normally use in flight sim. All right, but it's there. I suppose that's good. And what else? So that pretty much is it for the Airways, really. Now, moving on, just next to it, you have this here. If I can click it, should be able to click this. Oh, there you go. Right, that is holding pattern. All right, so in the pop-up box, you have the leg time, how long it should take you to actually get round this particular pattern, and the inbound holding course, turn direction, and so on and so forth. All right, so that's pretty useful. And what else do you have? Let's have a look, see what else we can select. Okay, waypoints, Futu. Let's select that. Okay, so you got waypoint you can select. Okay, and you also can add it to your route. So if we were in the process of creating a flight plan, you can actually just add that in and build your route as you go. All right, so we'll look at that pretty soon. What else can we see? VORs. Okay, so we've got the VOR here and the Modesto VOR. So once again, if you look carefully, you have a little drop down arrow within this pop-up box and you click on that. And there you get more information for that VOR. And you can see here the elevation of it is 93 feet. And yeah, just more information. And once again, you can add that to your route as well. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast for you. Try and slow down a bit maybe. Right, so that's the VOR. Right, now having a look at these, you can see you've got these kind of like cogwheel type symbols, one there in blue and one here in green, and they're all scattered around the map. Well, these are airports. All right, and just going back to this San Francisco area. And now, if I click on the airport there, right? So the airport comes up. That's the airport tab. So you've got 3 categories of information. You've got general, runways, and comms. Under the general, you have the name of the airport, county, coordinates, elevation. That's nice to know. And this here is showing you that it's got IFR capability. All right, so that's really handy to know. And the longest runway information, and then click on runways, and it's telling you runway numbers, runway 13 and 31, And just over here, you have the comms, all right, for the runways there. And notice here, it's saying you can add to new flight. So because it's an airport, obviously flights start and end at airport. So you couldn't do that with the waypoints. Now you can do that with an airport. So if you click on that, it actually puts the ICAO code in the origin airport. Okay. And you can actually work the airport from there. So we're going to be creating a flight plan very soon. So I won't go too much into detail about that right now. All right. So that's the airport. Now, interestingly, before I forget, I just wanted to point out something about the green airports, right? So if we click on the green one, now it brings up a little pop-up. Okay, so obviously this is a smaller airport. All right, all the green ones are smaller airports. The blue ones are more larger airports. All right. Now you notice also that it's got here IFR capability, no. And if you were to click on all the green airports, you would see that all of them don't have any IFR capability. So whereas the blue ones actually do. So let's click on another blue one. So Kilo Tango Charlie Yankee, and you can see IFR capability. Yes. All right. And that goes for all of them. So I suppose why it's colored blue and green is to tell you immediately which ones have got IFR capability. All right. So it's nice to know. When you're planning out your flight, you can actually say, well, now I don't want to go to that one. I want ones with IFR capability. All right. Now, the other feature I want to show you on this is, and by the way, I haven't forgotten about this. Okay, you can actually click this and actually open charts for airports, but I'm not going to go there yet. We're going to actually get there in a minute. All right, I don't want to run ahead of myself. And okay, so right now watch this. If you right click, can you see that? Where it is at the moment, the airport, San Francisco, is actually under this VOR or under the waypoint. So you've got a waypoint here, you've got a VOR, and you've got an airport. Now, how do you actually select the airport? Can you see I'm trying to select the airport and all I keep getting is this waypoint. And you can't zoom the map in anymore. So the way you go about getting the airport, the information you want, is to put the mouse in this area and just right click. Now it draws up this red lined circle and red shaded area. And in the box on the right, that's now popped up, you have various information. So you've got the waypoint that we couldn't get rid of. And then you've got the airport. You see, you've got San Francisco Airport there. You've got the VOR that is sitting under. And you've got the various airways that actually are traversing in some way this red circled area. Okay, and everything that is within this area is actually in this box. So that's pretty neat. So now if you want to select San Francisco, you just click on that and up pops the tab on the right hand side. So yeah, that's that's nice to know, isn't it? All right. So I think that's about it for the map. I don't think there's anything else to show you. Right. So let's move on. Okay. To the other thing about the map before I forget is that you know where your mouse is. Wherever your mouse is, that's where it's going to zoom into. So, for example, if I put my mouse on where my aircraft is, okay, and zoom in, watch what happens. It actually zooms into the mouse location. So, yeah, that's cool. All right, right, and that's pretty handy because we're going to be building a flight plan from Edinburgh down to Gatwick. So let's go straight ahead and go to the flights. So we'll do that. We'll click on flights. All right. And then we'll click on new flight. All right. Now let's just start from creating a flight plan from manual input. All right. So we'll do that. So you've got standard IFR and you've got airline CAO. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what CAO is. I've tried to look it up and I believe it could be cargo. Right, it could be cargo airline operations. I don't know. It could be computer assisted operations. I don't know. But to be honest with you, I've never used that. So I just leave it alone. I just don't need to know about that. Standard IFR. This is the one. All right. So what we're going to do is click on origin airport. So we're going to go to Edinburgh, which is Echo Golf Papa Hotel, and there it pops up. You can actually type out your airport if you don't know the ICAO code for it. And then we're going to go to Heathrow. So there you go, look, Heathrow, and there it pops up. And we'll choose an alternate, which is the closest one, which is Gatwick. There we are. You can have a second alternate if you want. Echo Golf Sierra Sierra, which is the nearby Stansted Airport, and so on and so forth. I don't know why you would need a third alternate airport. All right, now you can actually click on Auto Generate My Route. I won't do that just yet. All right, we'll just click on Create. All right, now you can see what's happened. It's given us our very basic flight plan. Airport to airport, and that's direct. Okay, and you can see here you've got more information, more boxes: show route, auto route, type route, clear route, runways, and all this is under this side here is under your origin airport. This side here is under your destination airport. Okay, we're going to look at that, and alternate airports here as well. Okay, now, if you actually want to get rid of this line, say, for example, you just want to get back to a clear map, all you have to do is go to flights and click on unload, and there it actually gets rid of that. All right, so we'll go back to new flights and do that all again, e.g. PH, EGLL, and EGSS. We'll just leave it like that. Click on create. All right, we're now back to where we were. Okay, so you can actually just click on this arrow here to move this drop down information box out the way if you want, and it just leaves the flight plan. All right, now let us create ourselves a flight plan. Okay, so I'm going to actually bring down our drop down box, and here you can see origin airport, Echo Golf Papa Hotel. Right, now you can actually select runways. So which runway would you like to use? Now if you've listened to, if your aircraft is there and it's got an ATIS, you can actually just listen to the ATIS and it will actually give you information about runways in use. If you want to know the exact runway in use, then what you have to do is contact ATC through the ATC facility and just basically request a runway, just request a departure, and it will tell you exactly what runway you want to use. Okay, but let's say it's runway 6. Okay, so we select runway 6. Departures, we're going to go to the Tala 6 Charlie. Now let's go to Tala 6 Delta, and there you can see it's selected our SID. All right, and if you click on it, it brings up the pop-up box. Okay, and here you can see it's got runways 6 linked to chart 10 3D. Okay, and it's also got this symbol here. Now, if you click on this area, it will actually bring up the PDF, the departure chart. So this is the SID. or the chart. You can see your aircraft there, and then you can see information about the departure. All right. And on this side, you have various click icons to just give it full page, and just self-explanatory stuff really. You can make it larger, and you can turn it around the orientation if you wish. Okay, and here you can actually pin this to the bottom, and you can do this with all of the charts really. You can pin it to the bottom there for quick reference once you've completed your flight plan. All right, and you can actually print it out, and I just bring the this over to you, so you can save it to, or you print it to PDF if you want to use it in another program. Okay, so all pretty useful stuff. All right, so we'll just get rid of this. Let's have a look. Yep, get rid of that and go back to where we were. Now, if you click on this one, this is what it does. Very nice. Let's get this out of the way. And it brings up the same departure plate, but yet it's overlaid it onto the map itself, which I think is a very nice feature. And what's really cool is that you can actually increase the transparency of it just by clicking this icon here. So it's 50% transparency, and if we zoom out, you can just about see the PDF there, but you can also see the terrain outside. Well, not terrain, but the map markings. Yeah. And you can increase it to 70% and 90% as well. You can still see it a little bit. And yeah, you got the pin functionality there as well. All right, good. So that is that. Also, if you have a look at the pop-up box on the right, now it's not selected here. Well, it's got TLA selected, but if there were more transitions you could get to with this particular departure, it would be listed right here. Okay, this is good to click on because this is what you'll see on your MCDU if you're flying the A320 Airbus, or your FMC if you're flying any other type of aircraft. You'll see these. So these are handy to actually have displayed. Okay, so let's get rid of that and get rid of that. So that is our departure. All right, now we've actually selected it manually, and you can see up the top here that you've got runway 6, Tala 6 Delta, the TLA transition, so on and so forth. Okay, but if you drop down the menu box, now if you go along, you can actually see a show visual overview. So click on that, and now, so you've got runway 6 selected here. You can actually select another runway. If you click on the drop down box, you can select runway 24, and it will give you the departures for runway 24. Let's go back to runway 6. Okay. And so this is just another way to select your departure. You can select the GOSA 1 Delta departure if you wish, and basically do it in the same way, add to route. Okay, now that one's selected, and if we just click away, click off of this, okay, you've now got this one selected. All right, so yeah, that's just another way to do it, if you so wish. Okay, so we'll go back to this one, and we'll add that one to our route. And now what's it done is actually it hasn't got rid of that one. So what we need to do is basically clear the route and just start again, really. Just click that one there, add to routes, and there you got that one back. All right, now to actually start building our route, what we're going to have to do, well, you already know that we can click on the individual waypoint, so that's what we're going to do. Before we do that, I'll tell you what would be good to do is to just go down to our destination, All right, and let's just set up our approach and arrival. I'll tell you why. It's because it actually will aid us in linking the origin airport and the destination airport together. All right, so let's just go to our approach. All right, so we can select our approach from the show visual overview. All right, now runway. We can select our preferred runway. All right, runway 09, right, and I think that's the ILS runway. Now, if you want to know which runway the airport is operating under the current weather conditions, then the one thing you can do, because at the moment I haven't got any weather engine, you may not have a weather engine, we may just be using MSFS weather engine. So what you could do is actually go to the airport, destination airport, put your aircraft there, and just click on the ATIS and note down the ATIS details. And if you want to find out the exact runway, then all you got to do is request, say, just do a departure straight out, and it would actually tell you which runway that airport is using. And providing that the wind or the weather doesn't change, then you will know beforehand when you're creating your flight plan. Just come back to this and you can actually select the runway. All right. So let's just go for runway 9. All right, so we'll do that. Select runway 9, and there you have ILS runway 09, right? And then we have our, let's go down. All right, so we have our various approaches, and just here, you can actually select various, various transitions. So if we don't want this one, we can select that one there, which is the CHT transition, or you can select the EPM transition just at the bottom there, or the OC transition. But it'll be more logical, I think, just to select the one as we're actually approaching from the north. So we'll do that, and we'll click Add to Route. Okay, and we'll just get rid of the overlay there. All right, so we've done that, and now we need our star. So once again, you can click on the icon there to show the graphical representation of our arrival, and you can either choose any one of these really. So you got the FIT, Bravo 1H, and Nugra 1H, and Hon 1 Hotel arrival. So we'll click on this one here, okay, and the Nugra 1 Hotel, and we'll click Add to Route. So don't forget that, and we'll just click that away. Right, let's have a look at what we got. All right, so we've got something sensible there. So yeah, the arrival is actually starting all the way out here, and look, it's actually near Liverpool. So it's quite a long way out, really. This star is starting. All right, but anyway, yeah, it makes sense to do that. Okay, so now that we've got our endpoint, all we have to do now is bridge these two together, and pretty much is your choice really as to how you want to do that. Now, this is the first waypoint. So if we click on this, okay, I just want to show you what happens. So add this to route, all right, and now what you've got are some dotted lines. Now, whenever you see dotted lines like this in Navigraph, basically the software is saying to you, I don't know what you want me to do. I think I know, so I'm going to draw dotted lines between 2 points, but I don't know exactly what you want, so you need to tell me. Basically, that's what the dotted lines are telling you. So the thing is, why is it drawing a dotted line from the end of the SID to the waypoint that we've just selected? Why doesn't it just draw a straight line? Well, the reason being is because the SID is not actually attached to anything. It's not actually attached to a waypoint. It looks as if it is, but it's not. If you wind the video back, you'll see that before we messed about with the various SIDs, there was a TLA up in the window. Now this confused me for a bit, I must admit. I stopped recording and had to just spend some time figuring out why it was drawing dotted lines from an established SID to the first waypoint. So if we use our little tip here, right click, all right, and then you see TLA. So we'll put TLA back, add TLA. So it says insert. Actually, do you know what? Let's actually get rid of, let's get rid of this first so we can do it properly. Right, let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Right, now we're back to a clean sheet. So let's right click and select TLA. Okay, then add that to root. Good. Now we've got TLA. So your SID is now attached to TLA. All right. Now, if we select, say, InRev, we can go further down a bit to InRev and click add to root. Now, can you see it's saying insert after TLA? All right. So we'll do that, add, and there you are. You've actually got a solid root, no dotted lines there, and now we know that we can start actually planning our route down. So we can choose SHAP as the next one, add to route, and there it goes, insert after InRev. Okay, good. And then we can, if you want, we can go straight to Rebel. All right, add to root, insert after SHAP. Good. And then we can go to Pole. And same again. Actually, let's select Pole properly. That's the VOR there. Always good to have a couple of VORs on your route. Insert after Rebel. There we are. And now we're going to be turning out. So we can actually go to Listo. All right, and add Listo once again. Insert after Pole. Good. And all we have to do now, obviously, is select Nugra. And now it's selected the Nugra star. So let's see what happens when we select add to route. Right, good. That's fair enough. It's joined it up to the star. So that's what we want. All right, so we've got our route at the top here. All right, and we know that the route is complete. If we're happy with that, then that's it. That is our manually created flight plan. All right, so I hope that was simple enough for you. Now, what I'm going to do now is just literally clear the whole thing. All right, let's have a look at this Nugra. You got the Nugra just to, well, we know about this. We know we can do that. So it's, yeah, no need to spend time talking about that again. All right, so let's get rid of this. And now I want to clear the route. Yes, we're going to clear the route. Okay, and remember how we get rid of these lines? We go to flights, go to unload, and there you are. So we've got a clean sheet. Right, let's go to flights. And we can go to new flight. Now you can actually load up a flight from a PLN file if you got them on your PC straight into the computer. All right, so that's fairly self-explanatory. And now this one here, SimBrief, that's what we're all interested in, isn't it? So with SimBrief, it's a proper flight planning software online. It's free. Okay, most flight simmers know about SimBrief. It's world renowned. And so what you need to do when you go to your accounts page, it's free to set up if you haven't, if you're new to flight sim and just finding out about it, it's free to set up. Just go to SimBrief and set up your account. Now, when you go to the accounts page, at the bottom, you'll see Navigraph. Okay, just put in your Navigraph details and there it will tie in with Navigraph. As you can see here, mine is linked in. So Navigraph will pick it up just like this. So you click from SimBrief and there, that's the latest flight plan, okay, which I've created, and you can say use that flight plan, and there we are. Okay, so there we are. It's actually created or installed our flight plan. Now with SimBrief, sometimes procedures are built into the flight plan and sometimes they're not. Now if there's no procedure in the flight plan from SimBrief, once again you're going to see dotted lines, which basically the software is saying, what do you want to do? Choose your SID, choose your star, all right? But this one actually, it's all nicely done for us. Okay, and there we are. Apart from this one here. Yeah, so you can see here, it's SimBrief hasn't actually chosen the star. So we know how to do that, don't we? We know how to actually choose the star. All right, so we covered that already. Maybe you can do that for yourself and yeah, get the star into that flight plan. All right, now the other one that I want to do is the auto route. So let's clear that. Right, so yes, clear that, and we go back to flights, unload, and we get back to our clear sheet. All right, so click on flights, and what we're going to do now, new flight. All right, manual input once again. So we'll just click, we go to Echo Golf, what was it? Papa Hotel, all right, and then we go to Echo Golf Lima Lima, Echo Golf Sierra Sierra, okay, and now this time we'll click Auto Generate, and there you have route options. Click on the little arrow there for the drop down menu and click Highways, okay, and then click Create. Right, now what it's done is done a bit of the legwork for us, right? It's just given us all the waypoints here in between. It's essentially drawn the body of the flight plan, all right? And so it just leaves for us to fill in the details. So if you have a look here, it's actually drawn it up to Tobid transition. Okay, so once again, you click on arrivals, okay, and you can see where it's drawn it. So it's gone to Tobix, all right. You can choose. Now notice here, the one from Tob 1 X-ray, Toby 1 X-ray is actually going down to the south side of the airport. Okay, is that right? Yeah, that's the south side of the airport. So you might not want that. You might want runway 9 right. Okay, so to get that, you will have to choose the one we used before, the Nugra 1 Hotel. We can add that to the route. Okay, and get rid of that. All right, so you've got the Nugra, and then you can actually choose your, that's it. Look at our approach. Go back to ILS runway 9er and add to route. Okay, and let's see what we got. So we got the same thing that we had before. We just got a little bit extra here. Okay, we'll leave that. We can get rid of that. Right, now you can see here that it's not quite what we want. We want really to go from Lovell to Nugra. So we have to adjust the flight plan a little bit. All right, so what we need to do is go to the top here and just, you can see this bar here, we can use that to scroll across. So if we go to the waypoint that we don't want, okay, so let's go to, let's click on this one here, Tobid, right? So we click on that, right click and click delete. And can you see what's happened? It's taken away that stem down here that we don't want, and it's actually given us something sensible. So we go straight from Lovell to Nugra, pretty much what we had before. Okay, so that's using the auto route method. All right, and that is pretty much it with. Oh no, there's more. Before I move on and kick myself for not mentioning this, so what we're going to do is now is go to, actually what we do actually, so we'll leave this unselected here. So if you now go to the origin airport, so click up there, and then you can drop down here and you can see open charts list. Okay, right, so what we have is this side column is giving us all the charts, all the information for the SIDS, the stars, the approach, and the reference as well. So as we are actually departing from the aircraft, let's click on SID, okay, and there you can see a list of the SIDS. All right, so you can select, so the one we used before was the TLA 6 departure. Let's go for TLA 6 Charlie departure. Click on that, and there you can see the PDF. Okay, so we get rid of that. And you also have the, once again, the overlay that you can use. Okay, so we still have to actually, from this column, select the SID. Okay, and there you are. Okay, so basically this column is just showing you a list of the charts available for that particular departure. Okay, so you can, we just been there, so move from there, and you can, once again, you got a show overview. Okay, so it pretty much reflects what's already in this section that we saw earlier. All right, and you got the star. So if you want to go to the arrivals, you can go to EGLL and open charts list, and then that will give you all the various arrivals for Heathrow. Okay, so you can select that, and you've got the approaches as well. So pretty much it's just a list of all the approaches and stars that we can see, and you can select them here. All right, and now taxi. So this is the airport information. So let's go back up to where our aircraft is. So here you have airport briefings, procedures, and various other things. Useful information. And if you're flying online with Vatsim or Iveo, Pilot Edge, or whatever you're using for online flying, I would always recommend to really brief yourself about the airport, because they really do work from these, and they expect you to stick to it. So if this indicates that a runway is closed, then it will be closed on your online network. All right, your online flying network. Now let's move on to airport. So this is really what we want. So this is the airport. Actually, that's Heathrow. We're not at Heathrow, so let's come out of that. That's why I can't see the aircraft indicator. Let's go to our airport location. So and click on airport. All right, and now you can see our aircraft. Pretty neat, eh? Look at that. And this is really going to help you to do some taxiing to your runway. So that's where the aircraft is. And so when we taxiing out, you can see we can taxi along Echo, Foxtrot. You have your holding points, Echo 1, Echo 2, Foxtrot 1, and so on and so forth. And funny enough, actually, you've even got holding points up here. This is just in case the airport is really busy, and if you're online, you may be requested to hold at one of these holding points. Very unusual place to hold an aircraft, but yeah, if it's really busy, they may request you to actually stop here and hold at Mike 3 or Quebec 1, for example. Okay. Right, and yeah, so pretty much this is it. Then this is really good because you can actually see where your aircraft is, and it really does help if you're online and taxiing, because nothing could be worse than online taxiing out of an airport or in an airport and you just don't know where you're going. So this is really, really essential. All right, and pretty much that's the only thing we're going to get, the aircraft location. Locator pointer. So everything else really is just information, okay, for parking stands. All right, and reference here, some airports, like I said, you've actually got pictures of your airports. I know, for example, let's have a look. Here we are. San Francisco International, reference, overview. Okay, and there we are. You see, it's showing a picture of the airport. Here, the ILS runway. So yeah, you can actually see how it is in real life. Okay, and airspaces as well. And just while I'm actually on airspace, I did forget to mention that when you right click and you get your little red lined circle, if you scroll down a bit more, you can actually see the airspaces there. So it's something I forgot to mention. This also does is airspace there. So that's pretty handy to know. Right. So So now let's just get back over to where we were. Okay, so pretty much we've looked at all the ways to create a flight plan here on Navigraph charts. All right, almost said Navisim. All right, okay, and that's pretty much it really for the software. I don't know anything else that I can show you apart from the favorites here. If you want to have a favorite, you can actually click on the star. And obviously you do know you can pin it, as we mentioned before. It says you can only pin charts belonging to airports in the current flight plan. Okay, fair enough. Right. Okay, and yeah, so you can pin various things if you want for easy and quick reference. All right. So right, I think that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's something new. At least if there's one thing that's new, then it would all be worth it for you. So really useful and handy software. And if you do like this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel to grow. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you all again in the next video. Do take care of yourselves, stay safe, and yeah, we'll see you again. So bye for now.